Man that will tell you that he's the only one that loves you and nobody else loves you, that is a red
lie.
That is a red flag, because nobody can love you more than your parents.
He's wearing it, alright, that means, oh yeah, well, he does that.
Yeah.
That's not fair. You're judging me before you know me, and that's unfair to you.
We should focus on happiness at the end of the day. You should do what makes you happy rather than what will make someone else happy.
Welcome to the Young and Prolific Show. I'm the host, Prolific B. This show is about young people, especially the young black people, giving them a voice in our community. Sometimes we don't listen to our children and we don't give them the platform for them to air out their views, and we underestimate their thoughts. This evening, I've got some fantastic young people here and they're going to introduce themselves. I got Samantha and I've got Dean. Samantha, ladies first.
Hi, my name's Samantha and I'll be speaking today.
What do you do?
I'm a prison officer.
Okay.
And I have my own lash business called Galore Lashes, where you can find us on Instagram or www.galorelashes.co.uk.
Thank you. Dean?
Hi, yes, my name is Chris, aka Dean, as Prolific B loves to call me. I am an IT analyst. I work at a global company called Diageo. I'm also a musician. And stage name is called Cash. I'm also in a music group called Freedom, and I have my own podcast called The Bro Code Podcast.
Thank you very much for coming this evening. I'm going to ask you guys a question about, we're still in the Black History Month, so I try and use that to ease you guys in. Do you think it's necessary for us to celebrate the Black History Month?
Definitely.
Why do you say that?
Because it just shows, it gives you input on the black people that have actually created stuff, how important we are, and to have a month dedicated to us, even though it's just a month and we should be celebrated all the time, it gives, some people just don't know about our history, and I feel like this month actually helps people understand from different cultures what black people are about. Especially me, I always learn a new thing. I'll go on Instagram, I will see so-and-so done this, and I'm like, oh, okay. So I do feel like it's very important and it's useful to have Black History Month.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree. Samantha touched on something which I think is important. It's the type of Black history that we are celebrating.
Okay.
I don't think we need to be looking at what's happened in the past in terms, although we need to appreciate it and see where our forefathers have come from, that doesn't need to be what we celebrate when it comes to Black history. We're not always looking to celebrate like the freedom of the slavery piece. Do you get what I'm saying? I understand that it's important for us to touch on, because if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be in the positions we are in now, and they fought hard. But I think right now we're in a time where we need to be celebrating us as black people and the amazing things we're doing, because we need to put that spin on it. I feel like the world has a connotation of black people based on previous views, whereas now so many black people are doing so many amazing things that needs to have that light shed on it as well. So
what do you think hinders us from, I'm talking about the present, because I'm talking about icons. What do you think hinders us from us not seeing the current black people that are actually doing something in the community? Because Samantha touched on something, saying that every time she learns something new, the new stuff that you learn, what is it? What do you actually learn? Well, do you learn about new people or things? No,
it might be old necessarily. It's not a new person.
Okay.
I'm talking about maybe older people, history, like who created. What did I see the other day? And I was like, oh my God, I didn't know. Was it a fan or something?
Yes.
And it was a black person.
Yes.
And I was like, oh wow. So maybe more history. I haven't really looked at the newer generation. I thought, okay, wow.
Why don't you look at the new generation? Because I find it disconcerting, because the people that are dead and gone have done their part. What is the current, because you've got like your parents, do you feel us as parents, we actually inspire you to be to get the greatness out of you as you should? Or do you think you learn as you go along?
I think I think it's half and half, I'd say. I feel like our parents definitely push us in terms of making sure we can be the best that we can be and be
Yes.
better than them in a way. But then again, when I look at our generation, we just want to be great. We don't really look at the past and let me say per se pull it into our own lives. We kind of just try and be as great as we can. Obviously, everyone's aiming to be some sort of like rich person with money, etc. But there's more to it. Some people are now seeing that we have power, literally, in our platforms, and I'm talking social media wise. So
when you say you've got power, because recently what happened in Nigeria really actually threw me from a curb. Yes, what's actually happening? Because I saw you standing up for themselves and then them being killed because of their views. And do you feel that we are still in an era whereby it's Asian, whereby for a young person to actually say or sort of like stand up for themselves?
No, I think our voice still matters. I think our voice it's even more important right now. I think people are listening to the young people.
Yes.
They're standing up for themselves, as you said. It's sad that some of them are getting killed.
Yes.
But we do actually have a voice, and it is getting heard.
Yes.
There is something behind it, and hopefully what's happened in Nigeria will come to a stop, and all African nations will come together and join. I feel like this is the time for Africa to be one and to come stronger than anything. And stop this black on black crime all of this things that are not needed. We need to be strong and be together as one unity. I feel like that's what black people lack. We're always against each other instead of being for each other.
Yes. What do you think?
Samantha touched on something really, really, really poignant for me. So I feel like when we look at what we're talking about right now is Africa per se, because obviously there's black people everywhere. But when you look at Africa, democracy is not a thing there. The people that run the country are old and they have very ancient views.
And care for money.
Right?
I agree.
And they care just for money.
Money,
it's all
it's
greed,
all about money.
And just their own people. If you're not in that
circle,
they don't really care for you. And when you can see it, it's really bad, because when we talk about leadership is supposed to be, you're basically, I'd say, you're more like, how are you? You're not actually like the ruler per se. You're actually somebody that's put your life on the line for the people.
Yes.
So the people are supposed to look up to you and see that, okay, you're leading us in the right direction. But when your people can see you're not and decide to rebel against you, then you have a problem. And that's exactly what's going on in Nigeria, where the young people can see Buhari is not leading them well. There's a few other African countries it's happening in where they can see the leadership's not running them well. And I think change is needed. And if it's not for the young people standing up for themselves, it would keep being run the same way. And clearly people are tired of it. So, no, I just definitely want to see change.
How do you think the narrative can be changed? Because when you say that, one thing is people tend to forget that the older people feel that they're invincible, that they don't want to let go. So they don't let the young people speak, because even if you look at the household where we all grew up, it's like your parents will tell you, what do you know? I've got more experience than you. You see, they don't listen to you guys.
But that's past experience. We've now got new experience.
Yeah.
The world is changing every single day. Not just because something worked 20 years ago, it's not going to work in this current situation and environment. And I feel like that's where the older adults lack. Then it's past their time. It's now our time. And it's going to be a time where our time's going to pass. So we just got to move on with it.
Yeah. I very much think as well, right now, I say in the last 30 years, there's definitely been a gap. If we look at generations and how fast our one's moving, so from the time like me and Samantha were born till now, technology is increased quickly, whereas beforehand it was in a slower pace. Things weren't coming out so much, there weren't so many things around TV, social media. It wasn't like a crazy thing like it is right now. And you can see little children when they grow up, even when they're like born, 2 or 3, give them a phone, they'll know what they're doing with it.
But you guys are millennial, isn't it?
Yeah.
You guys are the millennial
I'm still 90s, but
Yes. No, but I'm just saying that for you guys are still social media. Everything that you do is social media. Is sort of like inspired. But what I am trying to find out is, how do you think the narrative can change? Because now, the reason why this show, I did it, was because I was like you guys. Our parents don't listen to us. It's like you say something and they think, oh, you know too much, or you think you know too much. It's like you're back talking, you're back chatting. What do you think you know better than me? And I realized that there were loads of gifts that you young people have that you are not able to sort of like, I was not able to excel because I'm thinking, oh, they want me to do what they want to do, and I have something that I want to do. What do you guys think? Did you actually have to go through that?
I mean, start with the first question. Let's say changing a narrative. I think there's so many good examples these days. If you're willing to turn a blind eye to it, then the narrative won't change. And I'm talking about the older generation. They can't sit no more and say that us youths are not doing well. There's more than enough good examples in the world.
Yeah.
Yes.
When we look across different like functions, different like what do you call it, job roles, etc.
Yes.
Young people are doing very well. I'd say extremely well. We can look at sport. We can look at music, films, even the amount of black men now that are doing well in the film industry. It's there to be seen. But if you're going to turn a blind eye to it, then we're never going to see the progress. And you're never going to want to have the narrative changed for yourselves. And I feel like it's not for us to change your narrative, it's for them to change their narrative.
When you said them, who are the them?
Talking about older generation.
But do you think some of them can actually listen to you guys and change the narrative? Because I'm trying to do my bit, but I still sometimes look at the fact that you guys have got these gifts, and anytime you guys try to bring it out, it seems more like we want you to do this. We did this in our time.
Me personally, I feel like it is changing slowly. I don't feel like it's so, oh, you can't do this anymore. I think it's changing a lot. I see parents now, anyway, my friends, their parents really supporting them, do what you want to do, just follow your heart kind of thing.
Yes.
So I don't feel like it is, no, you can't be like this, we want you to be a doctor and do this. It's whatever makes you happy and whatever you're going to enjoy in your life, you should do. And I feel like parents are understanding that slowly, especially at my mum's like, whatever you do, as long as it's making you happy, then I stand by you. And that's it. And
Okay.
I feel like a lot of parents are getting there.
Do you know what that I was thinking would like contribute to that? I was thinking basically, essentially they've gone through their life, but they've never been able to do what they wanted to do.
Yeah.
Some get to like 50, 60, 70, and then they're trying to do what they wanted to do when they were younger, and it's not the same. You might be able to achieve part of it, but not the full picture. And I feel like now, because us young people have so many things and so many tools at our disposal, we're able to like just run with it.
Yeah.
And I think it takes them seeing that you can make a living out of it for them to put respect on it.
It's easy to make money now.
Yeah, yeah.
Some
people don't even have to leave their house.
Yeah, it's really, especially with social media, it's so easy to make money. There's so many avenues that you can do. You don't have to be you could even make more than a doctor and have less stress.
Yeah.
And you're doing something that you're happy with. So I feel like that's why they're more, and they're seeing that now. So that's why they're more, okay, do what makes you happy.
Okay, I'm going to sort of like ask something. You know, black people, especially the young, you guys are stereotyped
Yeah.
as being in gangs. You guys have been in doing all this stuff. You are a prison officer, yes?
Yeah.
How, you know, when they're kids, you know, when they commit crimes, they, apparently on the street, they're like thinking that they're big people, oh, you know, that kind of stuff. When they come in, how is their demeanor?
Majority of them are still the same. Because
They're still same. They still don't
I'm not going to say where I work, but
Yeah, yeah.
where I work is more of a remand prison.
Yes,
So it's not that they're more free,
yes.
but I don't know. A majority of them are from like the same area, the same. There's still gangs in prisons. Nothing changes. It's what is outside. There's still conflict. So I feel like when they come in, they probably even go a bit harder because they can't show that they're weak. So it doesn't really make them. Some people, if they're just not about that life, they will crumble because you're in a cell. Especially now with coronavirus, you're not socializing that much.
Yes.
You're in cell 23 hours a day.
Yes.
So if you're not, that's not your lifestyle, you're following someone, you will break, you will crumble, you will humble. But if you're in and out and that is your lifestyle, it's fine. Some people actually commit a crime to be in prison.
Why?
Because they feel safer. Some people make more money in prison than even on the road.
Yeah.
You can sell a phone, a small £10 phone for about £500.
Whoa.
So some people just do that to go into prison just to make money.
Yeah, it sounds a mess, but when you break down, because even like me I'm a youth leader at church, so even me when I talk to a lot of like my youth, you can see a lot of it is just money motivated and wanting to feel part of something. Literally, if you break it down, literally at the root core, that's what it comes down to. And it's like, you'll see 13 and 12-year-olds talking about, I need to get this, I need to get that. And you're saying, how can you get that? You're 13. They'll tell you.
But then again, I feel like now people don't want to be in prison. Like I've heard a lot of people, as soon as I come out, I'm going to do this. I've got this business plan and this and this and this and that. So I feel like it's 50, it's half-heart, it's 50-50. Because there's some people that, there's too much money to be making. I want to do this, I want to go on holiday, we're enjoying ourselves as young people right now.
It's true.
Really, a lot. So I feel like they don't want to be stuck somewhere unnecessarily for no reason. So with that being said, a lot are trying to not go into prison anymore anyway. So
no, but you know, when you said that, it really disturbs me, because when we're talking about Black History Month, we're talking about what people had to go through.
Yeah,
people literally, is it what saddens me? People literally died just trying. Sometimes you're even working so hard, you're so weak, you even sit down to drink water, and then you get killed for it.
Yeah.
Black people are not allowed to read.
Yeah.
Black people are not allowed to do anything. And you get people that they fought through that. And I listen to you guys talk about how somebody just wants to sell a phone and make money. So that means, then what was the essence of people fighting to get Black people freedom?
I mean, it's a difficult one. I mean, some places is just areas based. The area itself is still poor. Like, we shouldn't get to a point where we think that just because we're here, we're free. A lot of people grew up in like really poor families, so they're having to do what they're having to do to get by. The issue is now, when I look at it, it's more of a choice, especially for like the younger ones coming up. If you decide to go into that life, there can be said that yes, you're still in a poor area, but at the same time, if the ones before you have been in prison or they've been in that situation, they'd encourage you not to go. But at the same time, they can't make that decision for you. You have to be willing to do it for yourself. So.
And I just feel like Black people, we get judged regardless what situation we're in, and I feel like it's very frustrating to some people, because the other day I read in the news, I think a lawyer or barrister, got told by security in the court that she wasn't allowed into a courtroom. It was a private court session.
Yes.
Not knowing that she was the barrister or the lawyer for the court.
Oh my God, so you're still being stereotyped.
And she was Black, and it happened to her 3 times, and now she's actually seeking legal action against them, and it was just simply because she was Black. So they thought she was just a member of the public trying to come in, but she was actually one of the most important people of the case.
Yeah.
But don't you see, so that means what these kids do actually has an impact on how we are seen in society.
I say yes, but no, because media bias and media racism is actually quite a lot. That pushes the agenda. If the media want to show people in a certain light, that will push the agenda. I'm sure there's more white people in prisons than there are Black people, because there's more of them than us. But that narrative won't be pushed, because they just see Black people as, we are the, like, let's say the stereotypically scary people, for example. If I step out right now, I could be on the roadside, I could just be walking by myself, going about my business.
Yes.
So anybody that's white or not Black, they will just look at me like, oh, who's this guy? What's he doing? He's looking a bit dodgy.
Drugs.
Probably selling drugs. And that's just because they've already been kind of brainwashed.
Yes, so that is, they've been conditioned to automatically feel
and if
that.
you see the people that come into prison and the crimes they're doing, you're like, what? Seriously? Like, wow. Like, and it's not just Black people. I can't lie and say, okay, majority of it with drugs is probably younger black boys.
Yes.
But there's murderers, there's pedophiles, there's all sorts of crimes, and majority is the white minority.
Yes.
Some are even Asian. So it's like everyone's doing something, but we're just the bottom of the barrel.
As you say, media,
we're always beneath.
Yes.
We don't get counted as people. So no matter what we do, we're still bad.
And then how do we change that narrative? Because if a young person feels, oh, I'm going to sell drugs and do this, that tells on you. That actually that actually has a knock-on effect on you guys. Because somebody's going to look at you, as you say, walk down, you're a tall, 6-foot guy, big guy coming in the road. Automatically you're assumed. Because recently, I remember I was watching something on YouTube, and there was this guy, they said he bought a new car. He went to the car park, he was trying to load his groceries into his American guy. And he said there was this woman that was taking a picture of him. taking a picture of him. And by the time he came up, because said all of a sudden the woman now, when he moved his car, the woman now followed him all the way as he was going home. And before he knew it, the police had stopped him. And they said a woman had reported him because the woman said, oh, he was in a new car. So automatically she assumed that he was stolen or he was doing something dodgy. And he said he only came out to come and shop. And now he doesn't even want to go and shop again because of that. You
can't enjoy your own car.
That's it in America. You see, so sometimes
but it happens here. Yes. I was with a friend the other day.
Yes.
He told me he got stopped 3 times because of a number plate, normal BMW 3 Series car, which is everywhere.
Yes.
But he got stopped because he's a black guy.
And then what did he? And the thing is, you know, when they do that, you get frustrated. The young people, you get frustrated, and when you react, all of a sudden they are arresting you.
And you're aggressive.
Yes.
There was no needs, but then you keep getting pushed.
See, and the thing is, when you get pushed, the system is still not structured for the young people. So for black people in general, not even the young people. So then I still keep saying, because with me, I'm for solutions. Mine is okay. We're talking about it. What do we do about it? How do we educate the young people to let them understand that what you do might not affect you personally, but would affect other people, and people fought for you to even have the little privilege you have. Do you understand?
I feel like it's there. I feel like, to be honest, we know that we're not privileged, but we have privileges that have come out from the people fighting before us. Okay. So we know that we have that. I think the good thing that I see is that when you're talking about the narrative piece changing,
yes,
us young people have built our own platforms. I've seen more than enough that happens where people are celebrating their own young black people in that regard, people that are doing well in different industries, rather than showing the narrative of the black man. Because really and truly, we can't change something like, let's say, BBC News or the Daily Mail, all those newspapers. They're already down in their structural racism.
But how do we build our own? Because now I'm saying the only way you can build your community is by setting up your own. Because you're an IT analyst, you still do music on the side, you work in the prisons, you see the negative aspects, and you've got your own business. So how do we use that and say that, okay, I'm getting a couple of people together, we're going to build our own radio stations, we're going to build our own TV stations, we're going to use this, you see, to turn things around.
I said there's a lot of that going on right now. A lot. There is that support. There's a lot of podcasts.
Yes.
A lot of blogs, a lot of people that are getting together, having general conversation. Like I'm seeing even now, property, black people getting on the property. There's recently 3 brothers that are raffling tickets, £1.
Yes.
That's, I think they're on the 2nd house or the 3rd house.
Okay.
So now people are,
that's your
especially
generation,
my age group.
Yes.
And it's not even just my age group. There's a girl that started with me when she was 15 with Lashes.
Yes.
Now she's got over 500,000 followers.
Wow. Okay.
And when she started with me, she only had like 1,000 followers.
Yes.
And she's now 19, already got her own property.
Wow.
She's thinking about things that at 19 I wasn't thinking about.
Yes.
Because if I was, I'd be gone by now. But
yes.
Thinking about things I wasn't thinking about. So now when she gets to my age, she'll be clear, her children will be fine.
Yes.
She will have more knowledge. And I feel like everyone's like, oh, I don't want to be lazy no more. Girls, even ladies, we're not dependent on men anymore. We want to go and get our own things.
Yes.
I want this for myself.
Yes.
And especially as a black woman, I want to do this so I can be looked at. Oh my God, I'm a role model.
Yes.
So I feel like it is changing, especially
what
social
has inspired that?
That's one. I don't know. Maybe social media. Because I see as since that's come out, especially Instagram and stuff, everyone's competing for a lifestyle. Whether it's good or bad, I want to be happy. I want to go on this holiday. I want to do this. But to do this, I've got to do this. They've got to find ways to get to that, how to make it. So I would say how we're getting out there and how we're seeing other people's lives, how we're listening is social media. It's Facebook that we're streaming on. It's social media. Someone's going to watch this. So and so on.
Yes,
I agree with that. There's that, and then there's also the fact that we've seen where our parents are and how they've lived their lives, and obviously people just want to do better.
Yes.
It literally comes down
Because it's kind of like we've been comfortable,
Yeah.
or it's kind of like we're just riding the tide.
And there's money in the world to be made.
Yes.
Everywhere. Like,
probably been known in the last 3 years that there's that much money you can.
yeah, it's really been popping. Like, as I said, another friend was on Snapchat,
Yes.
and he went in the bread aisle, and he was like, "This is bread, but look how many brands of bread there is.
Yes.
Don't let nothing limit you.
Yes.
Someone will buy something. Someone will take something from what
So
you're
you guys
doing.
are literally taking the initiative.
So yeah, we're just going with it, and I think it's great right now. We're going with it
because, and then if you guys are doing it, that means you need to keep the money in the community. Because if you look
That's now the problem.
That's it.
And I feel like black people don't like to support black people.
That's it.
I'm gonna say it straight.
No, is it?
And
Is
we're
what it
very
is.
half price.
Yes.
Like, no, seriously, they wouldn't like. You would go and I used to buy lashes.
Yes.
For about £6.
Yes.
And that's before even 3D mink came around. These are normal plastic mink. I mean, normal lashes.
Yeah.
And I'd buy them for £6.
Yes.
Now, I feel like my price is okay, £10, but someone would be like, oh, give me discount. But then you would go and buy Lily lashes for £20. What's the point? And my quality is probably more better.
That's it.
But you'd go and do that because it's Lily lashes and support Galore lashes, and it's £10, and you still want more discount. And I feel like that's what the problem is with black people, where the Jewish, you hear that it goes around in their community
the
3
Turkish,
times or 4 times before
And
it gets
Indian
outside.
people, that's it.
And the same Indian people, they live in one household.
Yes, it.
And then they buy a house,
Yes.
and then buy a house and buy a house.
Yeah.
So they're investing in people. We're too, this person's gonna do this person's jealous, this person, we're too in our mix up, and we need to stop that and think, okay, maybe let me help my brother, let me help my sister. We do this together, 10 of us or whatever, we can change something. Then this person's gonna do this, this person's gonna do that. And I feel that's where our problem is. We're too against each other. And if we were strong and we were standing with each other, none of these other minorities can even say anything to ethnic groups, can say anything to us, because we're one.
Yes, which is true. And
but we break ourselves down.
Which is true. Ding?
No, I was just going to say, I agree with Samantha, to be honest, because I think there's an initiative that's kind of started not too long ago, I think in June, after like the BLM protest. It's called Black Pound Day. So they look for that. It's like every first Saturday of the month, I think it is, spend on a black owned shop. So it's whether it could be anything you spend on. But that was just somebody trying to figure out how we keep the money
in the community. Yes.
One of the issues people have is when you look at branding, for example, if I created something today and I thought it was worth, let me say £100, somebody saw Nike and thought, that's worth £100, but they looked at my thing and thought, why would I buy yours for £100? But not knowing that I think it's £100 based on the quality of the product, how you
sourced it,
how I sourced it, etc. But you haven't been able to see that, so you assume, you look at Nike and think, this is Nike, I'll spend £100 on that. Loads of people inclined to do that. Same thing like Samantha was saying about eyelashes. Somebody will buy somebody's branded eyelashes, even though they're not good, they're not even the top quality, just because of the name attached. Rather than looking at it like, look, I can spend good quality eyelashes from my sister here, and then I can have that, and we can be...
Which is true.
And you don't even know. After time,
some might start giving you discounts because you're a loyal customer, but you haven't even got to that point.
The funny thing is, the more you buy, the more she's able to get the things in bulk, so that she cuts down the price. So at the end of the day, what you're saying is very true, because it is sometimes I get so disheartened that we talk so much when it comes to Black Lives Matters, all these stuff. But if we don't build the economic aspect of us, we are still going to be where we are. Because today I was actually listening to this woman. I don't know whether I'm going to pronounce her name properly. Her name is Arikana Chimobi Kwao. She used to be the former AU ambassador to US. Do you understand me? And I really want you guys to listen to that woman. That woman, I know her name, I've not pronounced it, but she used to be the AU ambassador to US. Do you understand me? Now remember, I was listening to her today, and she was saying that we as black people or Africans, when we borrow money from the International Money Fund, IMF, they would charge the Western world 1%. But when we borrow the money, they charge us 9 to 10%. And we are the ones that actually need the help. Do you understand me? Then what they do is they change, what they do is they find a way to keep us in a position whereby we're always wanting. And as you guys are talking now, meaning if you borrow money and you're paying this much interest on it, how can you move up?
Yeah, you can never. You're always going to be behind. Catching up.
That's it. And she was saying that most doctors, they say if you go to New York now, the amount of doctors, the specialists in US in New York are Ghanaians. And then the specialists in LA are Nigerians. And yes, still in Africa, we are still struggling.
Yeah.
And the thing is, how, when I look at your generation, you're trying to make money and all those stuff, how are you going to make sure that things change in terms of icons? Because you guys are the future.
But then I do feel like maybe in the next 10 to 20 years, we will be in Africa. I'm saving, I want a land, I want a house.
Yes.
And a lot of, as I said, a lot of people are saying that. The group of friends that I talk to, everyone's like, I want to do something back home. I've got a couple of...
Back home, where's back home?
Well, Ghana, majority of my friends are.
Yes.
So I'm Ghanaian. But they'll be like, I know a friend that his brother's building a hotel.
Yes.
Or I've heard something about a petrol station that people are trying to invest in. Even NSG, the new group have now opened a bar or going to open a bar in Ghana. So people are investing back into the motherland. It's just slowly. And West Africa, we're more developed than majority of the world. I mean, of Africa. But it's getting there slowly. And I feel like slowly but surely people are going to move to other parts of Africa.
Yes.
And it hopefully will get better.
Yeah. I think there's like a general consensus amongst us that we understand that even though we're trying to invest, leadership is not great over there.
Which is true.
It's still a struggle in some regards. So we can try and do...
No, it's not in some regards, in a lot of regards. No, it's true. Leadership is, we have a massive problem. And the problem is, as I initially said, the older ones don't want to sort of like let go. And they're not doing it right. No. And the youth are sometimes, they get very tired. Do you understand me? And you guys that are born here, sometimes it is disheartening that the other day I was telling somebody that they say, oh, you guys can't go to Ghana, you guys can't go to Sierra Leone, you guys can't go wherever it is. And yes, you're a Chinese man that has never gone. So do you think we still live in that master slave mentality, whereby when somebody from a multicultural or multicultural, because comes into our country, we give them more of accolades than our own people? You see?
Do you know what it is? I feel like, when did I go? I went to Sierra Leone like 2 years ago. So I went to Sierra Leone in Ghana.
Yes.
And I could see the difference between when I went then, especially Ghana, to like maybe like 16 years ago when I went the last time.
Yes.
And it's changed like a lot.
But you were younger when you went.
Yes. But
how, do you remember when you said years ago? How many years ago did you go?
It was ages ago.
Okay.
Ages ago.
But what do you remember?
Well, my last time I went was 2017 to 18. But
so that means it's not...
but before that, I went at 15 and I said I was never going to go back again. I made up my mind. I was like, nope, it's not for me. I can't live in Ghana.
Why did you feel that? Why did you feel that way?
I don't know. I was just crying to come back home. I think I was there for 6 weeks.
Yes.
And I didn't enjoy myself to maybe the 4th week.
Yes.
And I'm like, oh, okay, I like it.
That was
I
when
don't want to go. I made friends.
Yes.
Yeah, this was like 14, 15. I've made friends. When I was 9, I don't remember. But that's when I started. Remember, I've made friends. Oh, I don't want to go, etc. And then you've got a stigma that Africa's not great.
Yes.
And it's poor and whatever, and you can't live in nice houses.
Yes.
Etc. But when I went in 2017, I was mind blown. I was like, I can live here. This is so me.
Yes.
Like, I can generally actually stay here, get a nice apartment, because Ghana is doing what the UKs are doing, or probably even more.
Precisely.
Like, they're all in the latest fashion. They're all wearing near enough the same clothes. We're all driving majority of the same. Even their cars are better out there, because it's better to drive them big cars out there than on these small little roads. Their houses are amazing. Like, I think even at my colleague at work, she must have said to me, I never knew the houses were so nice out there. She goes, like, a mansion there is like, it's like a big mansion in
Yes,
like
yes.
far away, and it's
Yes,
so
yes,
much money.
yes,
And when I was comparing the prices, like what you would get here
Yes.
for 1.2 million, you could
Yes.
probably get like 6.
No, it's true,
And they're big houses.
It's true, it's
like,
true.
They're big houses, like legitly swimming pool, probably 2 swimming pools, a courtyard, and you still got money after. And she's like, wow. And she thought like we lived in, like I don't think she thought we lived in potholes or nothing. But she just
But
didn't
the
think our
idea-
living was
yes.
that great.
Because of the way we have been promoted.
Yeah.
Because every time you look at Africa, they're always promoting blindness, they're promoting
we're
poverty, they're promoting loads of negativity.
Yeah.
You know what? We shouldn't even like undermine some, because like Africa was ravaged, especially a lot of countries were ravaged because of wars, like
Yes.
civil wars.
Yes.
So they're even still rebuilding. Like,
Yeah,
it's not to a
there's
point
some
where
countries that are just, they are what they are on TV.
Yes, yes,
There's
yes.
nothing we can do
They
about
can
that
do
right
about
now.
it, yeah.
But
And then
there's some that
mentalities
isn't.
will
Yeah.
take a long time to change as well, because of what they've been through.
Yes.
For those that were there when stuff like the wars, etc., were going on,
Yes.
they haven't had a chance to live any sort of good life. They're trying to build their life to be just stable.
Yes.
Do you get what I mean? And that's hard. When you're just trying to build your life to be stable, you can't enjoy anything.
Yeah.
Everything to you every day is work hard. You gotta go out 7 in the morning or something. You gotta sell on the street. You come home, make sure everybody can eat. You do the same again, and it's repeat. But until you see like massive change, which is why I feel like we have some sort of burden to go back and support and help.
Yes.
But like I said, if the leadership is not willing to accept
Yes.
help, or they're willing to be greedy, because
Yes.
I'm sure like other countries help
Yes.
them, try and help
Yes.
countries in Africa. But if the leaders are going to take the money and be greedy, like even today I was watching
Yes.
somebody sent me like a clip of
Yes.
like they in Nigeria where
Yes.
people have raided some sort of warehouse because they took all the the government took all the food that was sent there for COVID reasons,
Yeah, yes.
hid it away from the people, so the people decided to break in and take the food.
You see, and the thing is, as I know it sounds funny, but it's so sad
It's like, no,
that these people take these things that they've been given to people that actually need it, and the people that actually have money are the ones that are actually keeping it. You see, and this is what I keep saying, that sometimes when I say this, I know I'm going to get shot somewhere, killed somewhere, but I say that it would be better if all the leaders currently that are there are scrapped and they're a new breed, because there's no accountability. In Africa, there's no accountability, because everybody comes. My mom always used to say the difference between the Western world sometimes and the African world, the African aspect of where we are, is because a Western world they inherit, so they leave some. When they take some, they still leave some. Africa, when they come, they just take everything, so that the next person that comes to wants to grab their own. You see, whereas you guys that are born here, regardless of how you are, you've not been embedded into the system. So when you guys go there and you try to infiltrate, because the older generation, they're going to hold on to it for dear life. I remember I was talking to a friend, and he says that dad had a very successful business. And he said one day, the dad didn't teach them anything, and one day the dad got sick. And it's when he was on his deathbed that he realized they should have taught, because he felt he was never going to die. So he never gave, showed his children what to do. And now that business just went down. You see, and I think that has to stop, because when you guys were saying that you wanted to, you guys are so optimistic about Africa, like Ghana, and so you know what, I am so happy because we were taken and then brought back. You guys have never been, but you've been on holiday, and you guys actually want to go.
Yeah.
So how do you think you can change that aspect for the other young people to actually get involved? Because I know you guys are still looking at this country, but
I feel like it's changed. I think it's already in the motion. As I said, everyone wants to go back.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to invest in something in Africa. And I feel like, especially social media, I don't know if it was true. I don't know. I haven't actually gone and looked to see if it's true, but I'm sure I heard that Ghana was the #1 hotspot in winter for a hot place to be. Yeah. And also Naomi Campbell, Beyonce, even was just to shoot a video, everyone was there in Ghana.
Yes.
So I feel like it's already, I don't know if it is social media presence, because you won't be able to see nothing without Instagram, the snapping, or the YouTubes. But I feel like we're already there.
Yeah, no.
I think we're getting there. We are there. It's just obviously it's going to take a bit more, but we are in the process of where everyone is going to go back and invest, where everyone is going to have something there to do. people are going more and more back.
It's willingness, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, we're willing to go back.
Yeah.
Because we can go there for ourselves. We don't have to go with our parents, etc. We can go and explore it.
Yeah.
for-
Which is true.
Yeah.
Which is true. Because, you know, when you were saying that, this woman, I know I'm seriously, you guys should listen to her. Her name is Arikana Chimobiri Koi, yeah? The AU ambassador. She's a former AU ambassador. I remember when I was listening to her too, she said something that we should develop Africa. We should come together, have a developmental hub whereby we develop every sector, like education, engineering. She says even when it comes to electricity, we should, because if we have enough electricity, we can do a lot of production. So she said if we have that, make sure that we've got enough doctors, like for healthcare. You look at every region, you see who needs what. Do you understand me? And then we provide it. Because if we've got specialists that are working in America, are working in America, even in this country, some of the pilots, the top pilots are Ghanaian. Do you understand me?
Yeah.
And then we don't have an airplane. We don't. It's kind of like we seem to be working for people.
Other people,
How
not
come
us.
we're not developing?
Yeah.
You see, because for somebody to be a specialist as a doctor in America, there's no way that a white man will give you the accolade
If you didn't work, hard for
if
it.
you didn't have that skill set. You see, and this is where sometimes when I look at your generation, I think from what you're saying is much more hopeful than our generation is, because when our parents came here, all they wanted to do is work. They came here educated and they ended up getting stuck in the system. And instead of them to build the younger ones, they didn't. And this is the reason why I do this show for you guys to understand that you've got the power. You guys can do anything that you set your mind to. But this is a conversation that your peers are supposed to be listening to. Are supposed to be looking at, hang on a sec, if you guys can do it, then we can do it. How are you going to talk to them?
Yeah, I mean, I don't, like, first of all, I don't even blame the older generation for that, because I mean, when they first came here, they were just trying to gain some sort of sense of freedom, and getting stuck in the system wasn't per se what they wanted to do, but what they essentially have done is at least allowed us to be able to function how we're functioning now. Because you can imagine if they came and they were still, like, let's say 10 years behind what they were trying to do, we'd be 10 years behind what we're trying to do, and then we'd be looking at the ones that are like 10 years younger than us, trying to push them up. Like, we'd be stuck in that, and they had to do what they needed to do in order for us to be able to thrive. So it's up to us now to kind of like run with the torch, but we're still having to fight some sort of fight wherever we're having to fight the fight, so that the ones after us can enjoy the benefit of that. It might not even be seen for like, maybe like, could be like 3 or 4 generations before you see like the benefit of the enjoyment or the aspects of what we built being there, because so much of it is infrastructure.
The fruitfulness of what,
if we look at Africa and we look at, let's go through different countries per se,
Yes.
the infrastructure is all wrong.
Yes.
It's not built to thrive or survive.
Yes.
It's just built to be there for the ones that are the top. They do what they want, everybody else suffers. For example, you could be working for 3-4 months without pay.
Yes.
It's crazy. You can't do that in the UK.
It's true.
You can't do that in the UK. You get benefits. You
Yes.
get some sort of pay.
Something will happen.
Something will
Human
happen.
rights.
Because today you were even talking about them trying to cancel free school meals and stuff.
I think they have, haven't they?
No, the Conservative Party voted against giving out free school meals. So then Marcus Rashford, who's a black man, he decided to put himself out there, and he's asked, and
McDonald's have joined.
Yeah,
so they're
so
going to
many
give it.
different restaurants, cafes, different initiatives have joined on the bandwagon and said they will help feed the children, because for them it's just insane to say no to.
Not everyone can afford it.
Yeah, not everyone can afford
Not
it.
like even with the travel being stopped now. I feel that's mad, because if some parents are on benefits, that's now extra money. So some people are going to have to sacrifice eating their lunch money to get on a bus just to go and get an education.
And this is a country that's supposed to be developed. So imagine how much more we're looking at Africa, where it's not so much developed in certain places.
I'm going to play the devil's advocate, because today I did that with you. I was saying that they didn't expect COVID to come. The resources that probably they had to actually sponsor all this has been taken up by people being paid. Do you understand me? So because what I said to you was, if somebody is at home, you're not working, and you're paying you furlough, 80% of your wages, the government is going to toss up giving you free school meals, and then trying to make sure that they give your dad money so they can pay your bills. So sometimes it's 2.5 a dozen, because even though people say this country has money, as much as they have certain monies, I don't think this COVID was something that they expected to happen. It was something that crept us on.
Or they didn't think it was going to take this much toll.
Yeah,
That's the point.
But so many things are coming out now because I remember I know people have been saying government were taking pay rises in places. People expense a ridiculous amount against, and bonuses, even if we look at that alone, they don't need that, to be honest. That sort of money can be used elsewhere, but this is what we're talking about, the greed that exists in governments.
Yes.
That's what leads the people to be failed, and then we lead to a crisis where now someone like Marcus Rashford, he's a footballer, he's like 22 years old.
Yes.
Why is he having to stand up against government to have his voice heard so that kids can get meals?
Yes.
If we're looking at what they do in Nigeria, they're protesting, etc., just to be heard. They asked for something simple.
Yes.
MSAS went and killed how many people?
You see, and what is the Western world doing about it? You see, and this is where
just watching.
This you see, and this is where sometimes I always say that black people, let's sit up. Let's look at what is going on, because when we die, they don't care. You see, and I bet sometimes I was saying today that when somebody dies, everybody will cry a little and everybody will move on.
Yes, time heals.
Yes, even if it doesn't heal, it gets bearable.
Yeah, bearable.
But at the end of the day, what do we take from everything that impacts us negatively? Because when this guy got killed, what's his name? Floyd got killed. There was loads of people standing out there fighting and all those stuff. And nothing has changed. We are back where we started. Is it? So from your view, sometimes when people are talking about the black power and all these stuff, do you really have that sense of, yes, the black power is really real, or do you think we're going to work 3 times as hard? What do you guys think?
I think I've said one thing that's an issue for me is consistency. When we look at this George Floyd piece, from when the time BLM started, consistency was not running. I remember it took like 3-4 weeks, then people were running with it tirelessly, then it died out. Then now we've come to this Nigeria thing. People are now protesting again.
It's going to be something else.
Something else is
going to come, and then we're going to forget and then start again. And
it's not
never
consistent. We need to be more consistent in the fight. You can't have like 1 or 2 people trying to fight everything, and then the rest of us we dip in when we want to dip in to try and like help. But we're not. If we're not consistent as a collective, we're not going to see real change. And I feel like there's something. I know people always say like, we don't riot enough in this country, in London. Not that I say riots are good, but when you want to be heard, someone like France, when they have issues, everyone's on the roadside rioting, trying to get their voice until the government does something about it. Not to say that these things that's what it's going to take, but sometimes that's what it might have to take to be heard. But you have to be consistent, because pressure on leadership is what will get them to change. Because for me, they're not going to listen if we just let them keep doing what they're doing and we just chill. They're not going to listen. And I mean, certain movements, I believe we have power in our voices, and more like I said right now, we have power more so because of social media. If it didn't exist, it'd be a struggle, a real big struggle. Because something like these protests, we wouldn't even be able to organize, gather, wouldn't even be able to talk to each other.
We wouldn't know about nothing.
They would have just wiped it under the carpet and then just shown us what they want to show us. Which is why I was saying the news media outlets, we have to create our own platforms.
Yes.
Because the truth is, they'll show us what they want to show us.
Which is true.
We won't know. People will be conditioned under the carpet. Just that's how people will filter through and be thinking, I'm scared of this. Like when you think about it, England is big.
Yes.
Loads of different like little counties, etc., that don't have black people.
Yes.
All they see is what they see on the news.
Which is true.
And then they take that when the first black person they walk past,
they clutch their bags. Come on.
Which is true. But the thing is, as much as we see what is out there, what do we feel can happen? Because what do we feel can happen, but how, I keep saying, how do we change the narrative? Because the sense of us working together seems to be a bust. You see, because the only way you can change something is by somebody saying that if I help, even in business wise, if I help this person, if I work together with that person, or if whatever I do impacts on somebody, like if I commit a crime, the next black person would be penalized for that. How do we sit down and say that? Because we've got other communities. We got the Jew community, we got the Greek community, and they're in the same system we're in. How come our sense of what we do is different?
And as I said, it's more to do with us personally, as in we have a lot of hate speech other. There's so many factors to why we're like this, and it starts from us.
You see, and then what do we do about it? Because the thing is, when a few is standing up that we should change the narrative, and we are not doing it. Like, for instance, when I was listening to this lady again, I know today, no, she was saying in Africa, all the resources we have, they've got satellite dishes that they've put in certain villages, that satellite detects where diamonds and stuff are, and they've got planes flying, flying to these DLC countries, and taking up and picking out resources, and then they arm the young people. They arm these young people with guns. So that when the villagers are coming to come and scare these multicultural people away, they take it because they're not able to scare them off because these kids have got guns. Do you understand? And they're taking away. And natural resources are something that is never ending. Because when you're talking about diamonds, when you're talking about gold, when you're talking about aluminium, when you're talking about bauxite, when you're talking about fertile lands which we use to grow stuff, but those are not minerals, those are natural resources. But I'm talking about when they take all the stuff like oil out of our countries, what are the leaders doing about it?
Nothing, because they care about money.
Yeah, they get paid probably a cut for these people to come and raid them, and then they do. That's why I said the real changes for us right now. What you're seeing is actually history, Black history being made.
Yes,
because if it's not for these people protesting, what they're protesting now, it's not even about SARS anymore.
It's purely about ending the bad governance, and that's the truth.
In Africa,
and that's the truth, because you can't have leadership doing this to you when they're
failing their people. They're also stealing from their people just to better themselves, but they don't care about the rest. And then the narrative runs because all the Western world and all other countries see is the leaders doing this and that to their people. So okay, Africa's by themselves, we won't get involved. But the truth is, really and truly, if I'm being honest, I wouldn't even want the Western world to get involved.
So at the end of the day, what is the last word? What can you guys actually say in this present moment to your peers that can do? Samantha, go ahead.
We'll just keep going. We should use our platform to the best that we can, try and draw more young black people, not necessarily young, every black person to just invest in your community. Even if it's something small, giving something back, encouragement, it's just supporting your friend's business.
Yes.
Just trying to help each other instead of tearing each other down. That's a step.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree with Samantha. I think investing in our community, understanding that we're a collective, we have the power to change the narrative, but we shouldn't expect others that are not within the community
to change their mindsets.
Okay.
The more we forget about that, the better it is for us to carry on.
Definitely.
Because if we always focus on them and trying to change their mind, they're not going
to change.
Yes.
We have to change our way, and they will change their minds.
If they see us working together as a cooperative, if they see us making movements, if they see us together, we're saying we're doing this, we're all doing it together, then eventually they'll change their mindset. But we need to start forgetting about.
Okay. So the final word is working together, being a unit, protecting each other, making sure that whatever we do, we still do not let go of who we are, and making sure that whatever we do. But before I go, one thing I want to do is I want people to watch this show. I want people to share my program, and I want people to like my page, because this is the future, and these are the future leaders. As much as we sit there and we misunderstand, these are the future leaders. See, and thank you, and have a lovely evening. I think the thing is off, isn't it? Man that will tell you that he's the only one that loves you and nobody else loves you, that is a red
lie.
that is a red flag, because nobody can love you more than your parents.
He's wearing it, alright, that means, oh yeah, well, he does that.
Yeah.
That's not fair. You're judging me before you know me, and that's unfair to you.
We should focus on happiness at the end of the day. You should do what makes you happy rather than what will make someone else happy.